Welcome back, listeners, to The Brighter Side of Blue, our worldwide podcast coming to you from Columbo's Cafe and Tavern in Dogtown, St. Louis. It is the home of the famous Seabos. I see 7 Seabos out there now. At least 7. I can't see what Ricky's out there doing. But and daily lunch specials down here in Dogtown, St. Louis. I'm Danny.
I'm Tommy.
I'm JJ.
And I'm Brian.
Brian.
Hey, Brian, thanks for... Brian, I appreciate you waiting until I said my name.
Yeah.
Unlike Malachek.
Not like Tommy Malachek.
Yeah, you got
Bastard.
sniped. You got
We got
sniped.
no producer John. He
got Ricky.
Where's
We
he at
got
tonight?
Ricky Ray on the soundboards today, helping us out. John's at a concert that none of us would know who the player is. This is our podcast prior to Thanksgiving. It will come out on December 1st, and the reason Brian Howard's here is because he's in town for the holidays, because he played professional baseball. We're going to talk about gambling, and because this show comes out on December 1st, which is the first day of legal gambling in Missouri. But we are a worldwide podcast, and we started off as a grassroots podcast. We still are, but now we're up to 93 million viewers in 57 countries, including Vietnam. We didn't get that way by doing nothing. Like, subscribe, and share. We see when you do it, and we appreciate it.
I just want to clear one thing up.
Yeah.
Brian played professional baseball, played at TCU, 4 World Series he pitched in. But he likes to gamble. He had nothing to do with gambling while he was in NCAA and pitching and in the Oakland organization.
Exactly. Yeah,
So you were clean as a whistle.
I tried. I tried. Man, can you just throw a ball? Can you just throw a ball every first pitch?
I didn't need help doing that.
But one of the things, and coming up on later on the show, is our interview with Katie Kull, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch crime reporter. We did an interview with her with Alfred Montgomery, the sitting sheriff of St. Louis, and his trials and tribulations that we will talk about coming up. And Brian, you were in the audience for that one. You had just walked in from a flight from Texas, and what'd you think of that interview?
She was awesome. It was really fun to listen to. Everyone got to learn what tribulations meant. That was exciting to watch. Oh, you guys figure out.
Thanks to Ricky Ray on that one.
Yeah, but she was awesome. She was knowledgeable, and she's a very good guest on the show.
She is. She's good.
That's her second time. She's gonna come back.
She's good.
She's covering that murder for trial hire.
Right.
Murder for hire trial.
Is that what?
Yes.
What I say?
You
Murder
said
for trial hire.
Yeah.
Shit, every once in a while, I get shit.
I'm just sitting in. I'm not going to. I'm not here to critique. But that is what you said.
As a guest, you should not be crossing.
Now, is that the murder for hire that we kind of covered, where the guy flew in from Chicago? Is that the one or no?
This is the one, and there's a guy by the name of Michael Grady involved in this one. And Michael Grady is Oscar Dillon, who has been mentioned in the BMF thing.
Okay.
And he got an honorable mention on the best St. Louis dope man.
Okay.
And it's his right-hand man where they did all that back and forth with they would try to figure out who the snitches were by going to trial. And this Michael Grady professed himself to be some kind of a private investigator / paralegal. So, and then he did that for 20-something years, and then he finally, it caught up to him. So he's in that trial. So hopefully she'll be back on for that and many others. She's going to be, I mean, as a law enforcement show, you think you'd have a relationship with the crime reporter.
Yep.
She didn't know what tribulations meant either.
No, she didn't.
She did. She knew more than you guys.
Well, that ain't saying much.
Yeah,
Brian, that ain't saying a whole hell of a lot,
She
brother.
was around the strike zone. You guys were throwing out.
We were all in the dirt.
We were all in the dirt until Ricky Ray flashes the little phone with the definition. But so, Tommy, this is an opportunity for us to talk about what's coming up in Missouri, professional gambling. And there's been a scandal recently, which you've been quoted in a famous newspaper.
The Athletic?
Yeah.
And we talk a little bit about this in Katie's section, or in Katie's segment too. But when this thing first broke, I get a text from Katie, was the first person I get a text from, and it says, "Do you know Spook?" I was like, yeah, I didn't know what she was getting at. I said, yeah, it's Eric Ernest, and maybe, he was in one of the shows we did. She goes, that's what I thought. And then she went back and listened to the show, and he goes, he's in the NBA scandal. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Spook? Well, ain't no fucking way. Well, if you remember a lot of those shows, I would talk about, he would say on the phone that he was gambling with And I'm not going to say their names because I don't know
Big
if they're
time
involved in this.
professional.
Well-known.
celebrities.
There is no doubt that everybody would know the names. I mean, everybody. If you didn't follow sports, you'd know the name. If you did follow sports, you'd know the name.
And he was throwing them out there.
And he just throw them out. I went back. I got back from back. I was gambling with so and so and so and so. I was like, this guy's full of shit.
Right.
And I actually got quoted in the paper as saying this guy's full of shit. And because we would, and then there were some guys that actually believed him because they're like, hey, man, he got too many facts. And
Right.
so there was always that little debate in the office whether this guy was telling the truth or not. And he ends up he was telling the truth. He did know these people.
For those listeners that don't follow basketball in Korea and all our listeners, but tell us a little bit about what is the actual NBA scandal that you're talking about.
So there's two different things going on. There's the part where they're doing the poker. So they're using big time faces, and Chauncey Billups is a name, and this Jones, Damon Jones, I believe his name is. They use these guys to get other guys. They would fish them in, and then they would have everything set up. The cards would be able to be raised electronically, the whole bit. Well, Spook, he's friends with Chauncey Billups, but he gets the information from Chauncey Billups, who's the head coach at the time, that a bunch of players are going to be sitting. Well, he calls his buddy and says, "Hey, man, all these players are going to be sitting. Bet a shitload on this," and they do, and they win.
Oh wow!
And anytime you do that. So just
So that's frowned upon.
When so, and the other side of it is what I'm talking about now, is that there's players that have props put on them, like they're only going to get 5 points or they're only going to get 3 rebounds or over unders. Well, these players would give information to these people that, hey, I'm only going to play 3 minutes tonight. I'm going to take myself out with an eye injury.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Brian? I see fidgeting.
I don't think I'm plugged in.
No, you're plugged in. We can hear you. You
Okay.
can't hear us?
No, I can't hear you.
His
can't hear us?
earphones ain't plugged in.
Yeah. We can hear him.
That's all right.
I hear you. I'm good. I'm fine. Let's battle through. I'm sorry.
Battle through.
I was prima donna. I don't need to hear.
Yeah, take your earphones off.
Take your earphones because we
Then
can
you
hear
can really
you
hear
good.
us.
All right, there we go. Is that better?
Yeah, you went
there
through
we go.
adversity.
Because I'm not going to.
You're having too good of a hair day to wear.
I would go
I was
plug them
hearing
in,
through it,
but-
and I was like, you know what? These headphones are only obstructing my hearing. So I don't think they're serving their purpose.
Should I say anything?
The good thing is it took me like 11 minutes. 11 minutes in, I go, what's the purpose of these? Hey, what? Are these for show? Because
Are these for show? Yeah, they're for
I
show.
know, it's a-
We look cool in them now,
It's a
dude.
grassroots podcast, but I know we're doing fake headphones.
He just had that look on his face. I was like,
Oh, he was
wrong with Brian. He was
The
like,
problem is it took me 11 minutes, and I said, hey,
There you go, folks.
that's not connected.
Grassroots podcast. Yeah, he ain't going to be doing much listening.
I thought to myself, man, I don't know if these headphones all they're cracked up to be.
he can hear. He got good ears.
Let's
But anyway,
regroup.
back to the NBA
Sorry, brighter side of
scandal.
blue.
Back to the NBA scandal. The other portion of it was these fringe players were getting information to mob people that they would go in and they would, could you get more than 3 points? They're like, hey, man, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to come out with an injury. Well, those are the guys. Well, then I did a little more investigation, and I talked to a couple of my buddies up east who had a lot to do with the mafia, and they have a lot to do with this case. And there's a guy from Mizzou who brings us further local ties by the name of Jonte Porter.
Yeah.
And Jonte was again, that 10th man on the roster. He got locked up a year ago. What do you think happened?
You're accusing him of something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Allegedly?
speculation.
I don't think it's alleged anymore.
Oh, really?
I asked everywhere. There's no ties yet. But
Not to the same thing, but
as seasoned law enforcement officers,
alleged.
the case is coming out of the same district in New York as the Jonte Porter case is. And it's coming out a year later with the same prosecutor, the same people.
Okay.
So
witness protection might be in his future.
Yeah.
It is still alleged.
Wait, I don't. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to. Yeah, that's what
Speculating.
happened. And
Allegedly.
So what happens is obviously professional athletes, as we'll get into with Brian, are not allowed to gamble.
Right. On anything?
But on
Not when you're playing.
on sports in general.
Is that
Correct?
true, Brian?
No.
No. What is the rules now?
It differs sport to sport. We are not allowed.
When
we
you
were
say
not allowed.
you're MLB.
Yeah.
Right.
Baseball was not allowed, and this goes for college as well. In the NCAA, I believe the rule is still the same. I know they were flirting with changing it, which I don't think would have been a good idea. But the rule was no sport that had a sanctioned NCAA event. So if, like, you could bet the ponies because there's no horse
NCAA.
racing
Okay.
in the NCAA.
I got you.
So anything that NCAA had a counterpart to in any way, I mean, that's my understanding of the rule. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. No gambling on.
So go ahead.
No, do you mean other sports or just all? Like if you're a baseball player, you couldn't bet on football?
Nope.
If it was NCAA.
It's- Okay.
In the NCAA. In
What
the
about-
NCAA. In
that means
professional-
that means NFL too. Then
Yes. So
Okay.
the NFL would be, yeah, if the NCAA
gotcha.
has a championship in that sport, you can't gamble on it while you're in college.
okay.
Now,
Now, what about when you went to the pros?
When you went to professional baseball, I had a lot of meetings about it. It might have changed, but my understanding was any form of baseball, from the Little League World Series, which you can gamble on,
Oh, my God. This is
For the
horrible.
truly sick.
any version of baseball, you were not allowed to gamble on. You could gamble on the NFL,
football, okay.
Okay.
You could gamble on college basketball, NBA basketball, but any sort of baseball, you were not allowed to gamble on. But when I was playing, wasn't that long ago, but I don't think that online gambling was as prolific as it is now. So I don't know if those rules have changed in the last couple of years, with how easy it is to now gamble on sports or gamble on anything. But while I was playing, it was no baseball, no matter what, in any way.
So you were playing pro ball in Las Vegas, the
Yes.
gambling capital of the world.
The Aviators, by the way.
Las Vegas Aviators.
So tell me about how did the MLB actually deliver the message to the players?
It was always in spring training. It was a very thorough meeting that kind of covered all the bases of why the rules were in place, which started to make sense in those locker rooms, and you could see like they weren't afraid of you losing $25 betting on the Eagles first half. It was about what could happen if you started to find yourself in a hole, and then the people that would come bail you out of that hole would
Right.
expect something in the long run, which
That's what's happening right now.
That's a great lead-in because
Because
that's
I-
what my people are saying,
Yeah.
and that happened in with several of these guys.
I always understood why you couldn't gamble on baseball, but I didn't understand the limitations outside of that. It's like, it's my money,
But now you do.
but it makes sense because if you find yourself in a bad spot, then all of a sudden you have the ability to change the outcome of something that no one else has the information for, whether it's giving information. I would say that was probably, I think that was what they led with when they were talking about the rules and regulations around this sort of thing, is don't give out information that's not available to the public. And I think that I remember there's some bad cases of people getting in trouble, and I don't want to say any names or anything, but there were people that received a DM on Instagram, something as simple as from an account they don't follow. Hey man, you haven't played in a while. You playing tonight? Yeah, I'm gonna play tonight. That is a huge issue right
Wow.
there.
Just that information right there.
And he didn't think anything of it. He thought it was maybe a fan.
Right.
He
That's
thought it was somebody that was
seems
just
so
a
innocent.
supporter.
yeah. That's
Hey man, are you gonna play tonight? And
Yeah.
he said, yeah, but it was before the news broke. And then all of a sudden, as soon as that happened, then the lines move and all that kind of stuff. And the issues are not somebody betting on a football game. That is not where the issues come into play. I remember in the NCAA, we would always be talked about it. People would tell us about the risks and the concerns, internally. But when we would go to the College World Series, that was when the pressure kind of mounted, and there would be like big wigs from federal places,
agencies,
coming to talk to us,
like me.
And I remember thinking,
He said big wigs,
yeah,
not just wig.
I remember thinking, what are they talking about? And the College World Series, there's a lot of action on that event, and people would come, and it didn't happen to me ever, but it did happen to some of my teammates where you'd be walking around, because it is like it's a big social event where you play every other day, and so you have off time in Omaha, and you do want to experience what the College World Series is all about. So you'll walk around the stadium. You have tickets to every game, so you go see the team you're playing tomorrow or whatever, and people will recognize you and try to get information.
Wow.
On what's going to happen, who's pitching for you guys. And I never had any direct experience, but my teammates did say, "Hey, somebody just asked me that. They weren't messing around with me."
You have to always be on guard,
It was one of those. It was too specific of a question.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what ends up happening is the mafia. And athletes, even though, and Brian, you kind of straighten it out that you can maybe bet on other sports, but what do you not want to do as an athlete on how to bet? You're not going to roll into a casino, right?
Right.
So you're going to try to get, and this is before the online is just starting to come in now. So what the mafia would let you do is gamble with them, and like Brian said, they'd let you get in a hole. Hey, I ain't got. Well, they wouldn't even ask you for your money. They don't even ask you for money until you get. If they know who you are and they know that they can
Gotcha.
get you, they don't even ask for that first 5,000.
10,000, 20,000.
Just let it keep rolling, and then they wait till that thing gets way up. Then they do their ask. All right, you didn't need to pay up. Well, they know.
You can't pay up.
Well, and then too, and even though they make a lot of money, they spend a lot of money, and
Right.
especially the younger kids.
Right.
So that's how they worked it out with several. And I think when the information comes out, you're going to see it all tied together. You're going to see Jonte Porter tied in with the rest of them, and it's all the same stuff. And then the one thing that kind of Chauncey Billups, who was friends with Spook, he's the one that kind of throws me off because that dude, he's a world champion, and
Yeah. Well,
the head coach. It just seems like he would not. I don't know how. It'd be interesting to see, or if that ever gets testified or the information comes out, is how he was exactly tied into it. But it could be. I mean, if he was innocently telling Spook what he did tell him on because
just casual
because
conversation.
they tied the one reporter tied Chauncey Billups and several of his family members to Spook and several of his family members, and not so much together, but like their wives were friends on Facebook, their daughters, or whatever it was. But there were several ties which would indicate that they maybe had a friendship too.
Right.
That the families hung out with each other, met each other. So Chauncey Billups could have just been giving him, hey man, this guy ain't playing, that guy ain't playing, not thinking that Spook was going to call his buddies and go, hey man, we need
playing.
We need to unload on this shit.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Well, but then what we reported on with Spook and Bebe before is they were down with the loaded dice. They set up gambling games here.
Well, the poker games are all cameras and X-ray cards. JJ, you could.
Right.
Even you could win a hand in poker with
I
the
don't know.
X-ray cards.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But
At least,
That's your best shot.
at least he could fold knowing not that he wasn't going to win, though.
Denise.
Then we
Did
give-
you hear what she said? Don't be me.
Bean.
See, Denise comes back.
I had a question too. Just think about Chauncey Billups you talked about. Just think what he just is a baseball player in a whole different level than Chauncey Billups, and they scared him, not knowing that you can't do that.
Right.
You better believe he knew everything he was doing.
Right.
There's no way he was like naively giving any information up.
The only one that's the only one that I have an inkling that might not have known that he might have
agree.
been a just an innocent bystander and all this. Just and then I'm just I say
Seriously?
maybe. Now the rest
You think
of them,
that too?
I think so too. I just
I mean, just the way you have to go through for College World, the meetings they have with you guys. You don't think they double down in NBA?
I'm sure they
but
do.
he's not thinking that.
But I don't think that he thought he was involved in the same. I don't know. All the facts
But
have
no,
to come
I
out,
take
but-
that back. He's also involved in the
Oh, Jesus. Here he
the
goes.
card thing.
He's guilty as hell.
But I don't. I just.
I think he's also involved in the card thing. The card thing is for sure.
Hey,
Anybody that's been named in the card thing, I'm not saying.
I would want to defend
that's a-
Chauncey Billups. I'll tell you that.
No.
But on the one with Spook, I'd say that one
Was innocent.
was innocent.
or-
Now,
or-
if you're the fish for the card games, you know what's up. You know exactly.
So, Brian,
I forgot this is that there was a quote. They got while they were playing cards, and this is why I know Chauncey Billups is involved. Is somebody's watching it, and they got their text message, and it said Spook and Chauncey just hit a gut shot, which in gambling means
Card
that,
in between.
well, it's a card that you're probably not going to get,
Right.
and you never stick in the game for a card you're not going to get,
Right. For
hold'em
and
or
they
whatever.
got it,
Yeah.
and they knew it was coming, but that's why. And so Chauncey Billups is not extremely innocent, but I think he's innocent on the other thing. That's just me.
I want to ask you, Brian. So there was because I have an issue with prop betting, and so the pitcher from the I think he's the Cleveland Indians
Yes, that's a great one.
that bounced the ball in the dirt. Do you think that was a live betting? Like was that a result of live betting? Said this is going to be a ball.
That's actually the problem that they were talking about because it's so in the moment. You can bet. You can be in the locker room and make an instant bet.
Right.
It
So
was- I don't know. I did play against him.
name dropper.
It was probably pre-planned.
Absolutely.
Whenever you're pitching the first time that night, because they're relievers, just make the first pitch a ball.
And that's your bet.
But my favorite thing from the whole thing, which, sucks that all that happened. Shouldn't happen. But they had that bet was going for a couple nights. I'm pretty sure it wasn't just a one-time thing. And there is a hilarious video of the first pitch of the inning going about 48 feet, and a Dodgers player swinging at it and missing. Yeah.
Was
And it
Yeah.
screwed up the whole thing.
Oh yeah, so that's a strike. And
although he
that.
said in dirt, there has been pitches in the dirt.
Yeah.
It wasn't that particular pitch.
it was.
It was, but there's some pitches that are 5 feet in front of the plate.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and that's why I think this is so funny because I've been in locker rooms before, and this guy is going to hear about this for years from his own teammates. The guy that swung at it, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just looking for a heater. He guessed wrong and swung at a pitch that was
It was like this
so
far.
intentionally supposed
got
to
the
be a
pitcher
ball.
killed by the mound.
Yeah, and he swung at it. He was
Hey,
like, "I'm
you
gonna
can
let it
still
rip."
swing. You can still hit a
Ready
ball.
to
That,
go?
you can still hit a ball that bounces in the dirt and comes over the plate.
Yeah, that's
in
fine.
in that video he's talking about, you can see the disappointment in the pitcher's
Oh yeah,
face.
he couldn't. He
It's like, damn.
His whole goal was that with sixth inning, I'm going to start it with a ball. I'm going to.
And this idiot swings at
and
it.
he swung it. The guy was looking for something he could do some damage on,
And
and he guessed
wonder-
wrong. But
and I
it's
don't know the
hilarious.
secret or something, but
If
they've shown all this guy's first pitches.
Right.
And that, like Brian said, it was a predetermined thing. When
Yeah.
this guy comes in, everybody was going to bet on the first pitch being
being
a
a
ball.
ball, and he was going to spike it, throw it way
And that's
outside, whatever.
there was no other communications other than that. So they showed like 20 of his first pitches, and they're all over the place. Like you said, there's a couple that are in the dirt,
Yeah.
a couple up at the
One guy
head,
swung at it.
and then the one guy swung at it. But I'm wondering if that was his first one. He's like, I'm never putting this, because the rest of them, that was the only pitch that was even remotely fucking close.
This is the first one we know of here. It was April 12th versus the Royals. Bobby Witt Jr.'s up. The bettors bet on it being a ball and that it was going to be slower than 98 miles an hour. And oh, look at that. He spikes it again. As a result, the bettor agreed to wire Clase an undisclosed sum, and Clase told him to, quote, send it as if it were someone else. So you kind of get the idea of how this works. Here's just a compilation of all the pitches we believe Clase threw in 2025 that were in coordination with the bettors. These were all the first pitch of Clase's appearance, and you can tell he really started to zone in on throwing balls way out of the strike zone. In total, the bettors racked up $460,000 on these in-game prop bets, which is just an astonishing number. Really, really shocking. So this operation was a pretty well-oiled machine by the time we get back to this Dodgers game. We know Clase is going to rig the first pitch here because at 1 p.m. that day, the bettor texts Clase and asks if he's, quote, all set. Clase responds, yes. The bettors then place a $4,000 bet that Clase's first pitch would be a ball. So the moment has come. Clase's on the mound. He's about to do the deed. But up comes Andy Pages, who's feeling a little bit nervous. Clase's one of the best closers in the game. He's got to be ready to swing here. And on the first pitch, it's a swing and a miss. Clase tries to spike the pitch, but Pages took a rip at it. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. So because of that bad swing, the bettors just lost $4,000. And look at Clase, he knows it. He's like, oh shoot.
The rest of them are getting bounced.
That's what I was going to say. You can't just throw a little outside hoping that,
Right. I think he learned that on the first one.
It bounced. It was hilarious because his teammates are going to say, dude, he was literally, all he was trying to do was throw you a ball and you swung at it.
Oh my God! So that's where I have a problem with the prop bets because that seems like an easy way to get in there.
Yeah.
Well, and then too, it's the only bet you can. Well, I guess it would be an individual prop bet, are the only bets that you can really have control over.
How easy is that for the feds or to figure that out?
All they got algorithms.
Yeah, they're jumping. All these people are making this bet, and he throws it in the dirt over and over again.
Well, we're going to see how it comes out.
Well, that's how John Tay Porter got it. Is that there was an abnormal amount of bets for a guy that was in the G League that came up for a cup of coffee, and then the next thing you know, he's in the game and he gets hurt, and there's $300,000 bet on him.
Right,
a nobody.
Wow.
They're just like, come on, man.
Right.
What's up
That's
here?
terrible. And Monday starts live.
No, today. This comes out.
This
today.
comes out. This show comes out on Monday.
and
How much gambling are you gonna do?
Not very little.
Hey, I'm just glad I have to go across the JB Bridge
And sit there in a parking lot?
in that gas station lot. It's so funny because I went over there once. And,
Yeah, but you saw the same people all the time.
but there's a line of people. There's a line of people on the outskirts of around Columbia, Illinois. They're lined up, and they're all got their hands in their face and their phone, and they're making bets. And I pull in. The one time I did, I pulled in and made my quick bet and left.
Yeah. Wow. So, all right, we're going to move on from gambling. Time for a word from our sponsors, JJ. If you need some serious security, who do you go to?
Personally, I would go when you're looking for real protection, not just a badge on a wall. Make the call to the Campbell Security Group, based right there in St. Louis. They're veteran-owned and powered by former law enforcement and military professionals, from executive protection to private air security. They got your back. Get a peace of mind when it matters most. Visit CampbellSecurityGroup.com or call 314-499-1121. Campbell Security Group, because safeguarding your world requires more than watchful eyes. It demands proven action.
Tommy, they have a lot of vehicles at Campbell Security Group. If they need repair, where are they heading to?
I'll tell you what, when your car needs real attention, brakes, diagnostic, tires, or full service, you want a shop you can trust. That's Fairway Automotive. 5 locations across the St. Louis area, all family run, all built on honest work and quality repair. Their certified techs don't guess. They diagnose, fix it right, and keep you safely on the road. Fairway backs every job with integrity and a hometown service that's harder to find these days. Visit fairwayautomotive.com to book your next appointment. Fairway Automotive, where it's not just done the right way, it's done the fair way.
I have one more thing to say about gambling.
Go ahead. You sound like Tommy Sawyer.
I'm sorry.
Tommy Malachek, I'm not one more thing.
I am one more, though. We're talking about gambling, and that I played. When we were in Las Vegas, there was you could bet on.
This ain't a confessional, brother.
No.
Go on.
All of a sudden, Father JJ's over there.
You're forgiven. Just go away.
You could bet on our games while you were playing. And my parents were in town to watch me pitch one time, and they stayed at the Casino Hotel.
May I forgive him.
And I didn't tell them this because it was sad, but I knew I was starting that night. But I went over to have breakfast with them at the hotel, and there's the ticker running. We were huge underdogs the day I was pitching.
That's What's wrong?
And I got my ass kicked. So Vegas knows.
What's wrong, dude?
You were trying to focus on breakfast and the line.
I was just trying to get some eggs.
Would your dad have been low enough to bet against you then?
It would have been smart too.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
Good
yeah, he
story.
would have bet on him. Yeah, that saved it. You
And we're-
saved your dad
yeah.
money because he'd have got mad at that and bet on. He would have had a spite bet,
Yeah.
and his spite bet would have
No good.
not. It wouldn't have
And
turned
like
out
all
where
my
it was.
bets, I done. So, although this is being taped on Tuesday, tomorrow night is a huge. We've had a show on it. This is the night before the Guns and Hoses,
Thanksgiving Eve, baby.
Thanksgiving Eve, and it is a blowout where it's the biggest fundraiser for Backstoppers. It supports those who fall in the line of duty. So, although this comes out on Monday, tonight is so kudos to the Backstoppers and happy Thanksgiving to all our listeners
I
worldwide.
think that's the one thing you can guarantee every night before Thanksgiving. There's going to be a huge success down at the Savage Center.
Right.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a
unbelievable.
guarantee.
They're writing big checks.
Enterprise.
Yeah,
Enterprise?
Enterprise. And
That's
Ricky
kinda
Ray.
showed my
I
age.
love it. Ricky Ray. Hey, is that considered fact checking?
Yes.
Did you just fact check us, Ricky Ray?
Yeah. He's fired. He's fired.
I think I got fact checked anyway.
But yeah, so I hope for a big turnout there and everybody have a good Thanksgiving. So we're going to move on with the show. And Tommy, should we go with my day in history or your
Let's
two
go,
bandits
baby.
down in Texas?
I don't, whatever. Brian's from Texas. We'll save that. These guys are.
Disavow what
You,
they
you
got
don't,
going.
you don't like that? You don't like these
You
guys?
totally
Bad Cowboys.
All right, we'll save them. They aren't
Cowboys.
that good at people, but
All
go
right,
ahead.
well, then we're going to go with. I'm very proud of this one, JJ. I did some research. Like always, I peeled
You
the
do.
onion.
You're prepared.
I'm going to make our listeners. 93 million people will be smarter at the end of this.
What you got?
This day in history. Okay, so
So what day are we talking about? We talking about Monday or actual today?
I'm not willing to divulge that because I feel
Okay.
like with the spread
So
of
somewhere
days,
around in this time.
Yeah.
So this day in history.
Somewhere
doesn't
around
necessarily-
this
Pick your
time in
date.
history.
Right.
Right.
You
I feel like I have the
choose your own
leeway.
adventure.
No, I feel like when we tape on a Tuesday and put out on a Monday,
Anywhere in there.
anywhere in
Right,
between
it's
there,
somewhere.
I get to utilize it.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's a good rule to follow.
Happens
'Cause no
to
one
be-
cares.
Happens to be it is today.
All right.
Okay, so there has been a movie, and my wife's a big movie buff. So I want to take a different perspective on this, on the angle of this story. Everybody knows the Birdman of Alcatraz. Oh, there was movies. Burt Lancaster played the Birdman of Alcatraz in a 1962 film.
Classic.
Classic, and it was filmed in Alcatraz. And
Full of shit.
It was totally full of shit. What they did was they glorified this the Birdman of Alcatraz, and they softened it all up and made him look like a likable human being, and he wasn't. What he did was, I want to turn the angle because this is a police broadcast, Brian. I don't know if you know that. We support law enforcement.
But we're also
Birdman of
we're
Alcatraz-
fans of birds too. Just so we're not trying to bash on birds.
I had 4 minutes slotted for this story, but if you keep interrupting, we're going to go to 5.
All right.
Tommy, shut up. Tommy, shut the hell up.
Hey, let's go 7.
No.
All right. I think I'm going to interrupt.
Just go, Dan.
Robert
Go.
Stroud is the name of the Birdman of Alcatraz, okay? And he killed Andrew Taylor, a man of the badge, a security guard in the Leavenworth, Kansas penitentiary.
What was he in jail for originally, though?
Originally, we're going to go to 6.5 minutes. So
Well, you just jumped to the killing of the guard.
It's my
what the hell is
story,
he in there
bitch.
first?
Let him go, Tommy. Let him go.
So
Called a sequential order.
in my mind, it's very sequential.
Right. You just jumped to the guard getting killed. We don't even know why he's in prison yet.
Hey, he killed the fucking guard. Let's go on.
Can we go back
No.
to
Jesus Christ.
Can any of you guys define tribulations right now?
Tough times.
on, man.
Tough times. Tough
Jesus
times.
Christ.
Robert Stroud was a pimp.
Bob.
He was a pimp. And in Juneau, Alaska, in 1909, he had a guy named Charles Dahmer,
Oh.
who was, I know, Jeffrey Dahmer, I know, but
Oh, no relation?
I don't know. I didn't peel the onion that far, Brian.
Cheers.
Is this not a genealogy
I
show?
might as well just say it out now because I was going to write it down. It's got to be tough to be a pimp in Alaska.
That's so true.
I'm just saying.
So Robert Stroud,
Go ahead.
the Birdman of Alcatraz, is a pimp in Juneau, Alaska.
Yep.
A bartender named Charles Von Dahmer uses the services of one of Robert Stroud's prostitutes. He gets aggravated. He assaults her, beats her, and doesn't pay her. Robert Stroud knocks the guy unconscious, but that wasn't good enough. He shoots him. So he goes to jail to Leavenworth. But I like these sentences. He gets like 8 years. Right. All right. So right before he's about to be released from Leavenworth, he gets in an argument because Andrew Taylor, a man of the badge security guard in Leavenworth, writes him up for an infraction, small minor infraction, but it keeps a visit from his brother from coming to visit him canceled. So Stroud gets so pissed off in front of 1,100 inmates.
1,500.
It's 1,100 inmates. He kills Andrew Taylor, stabs him, kills him, dead. He gets a life sentence. No, he gets sentenced to hanging. He gets sentenced to hanging.
It's way worse.
But Robert Stroud's mom writes a handwritten note to President Woodrow Wilson, says, "My son's a good kid, but whatever. Please spare his life." So
Was it like Epstein's mom and she signed it? she signs it, Robert's mom.
No.
Bobby Epstein's mom.
Dear Mr. President, my son's not all that bad. Robert's mom.
He has no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Brian, Epstein's mom? You don't know what he's talking about.
It's Welcome Back, Cotter.
See? Yes.
no.
See, I told you would know what that was about.
Oh, we thought you were
Yeah,
talking
I
about
thought
David Epstein.
I
No, I thought he was
Jeff.
talking about Jeffrey Epstein's mom. He's like, what the fuck's that got to do with anything?
New York financial advisor?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, you got to cut the shit out of this.
For anybody that doesn't get that, go see Welcome Back, Cotter.
here we go.
I did.
Let's get back on point.
All right, sorry. This is going to take 7 minutes, but
The
go ahead.
Birdman of Alcatraz's mom writes a handwritten note to Woodrow Wilson, spare my son's life. He says, I will. But he's going to go to Leavenworth in solitary confinement for the rest of his life, bar none. He goes to solitary confinement. So he does. He gets there and he finds 3 injured sparrows. He gets private time, but he's in solitary.
yard.
In the yard. He finds 3 injured sparrows, and the warden allows him to take these sparrows under his wing and try to.
That's
No pun intended.
no pun intended.
Ricky's the first one to get that. Yeah. So he fixes these sparrows. Well, then he becomes kind of a birdman. So now he's allowed to. So the prisoners were allowed to buy canaries, and I don't know why that's the prison bird, but they were allowed to buy canaries infrequently, but some. He gets a couple canaries. Pretty soon he has 300 canaries. He has his own aviary in Leavenworth. 300 birds in a cell. He's taking care of them. He's making money out of it. His mom's running the business on the outside. Say it, Ricky. Say it. Alcatraz. No. Yo. Oh, yeah. I'm a stump Ricky, because everybody says the Birdman of Alcatraz.
You finna learn something tonight, Ricky.
You're going to get educated. So he's got 300 birds in this place. So people say, well, why'd they send him to Alcatraz? Well, first of all the equipment he was allowed to take care of these birds, he wrote a couple books in there too. He was also distilling alcohol, using the equipment to distill alcohol.
A genius.
So the Burt Lancaster movie made him look like a very soft individual that was rehabilitated and all this stuff. The guards hated him. They said he was a manipulator. He was extremely violent. He had other stabbings, a lot of violence in the thing. He was a jerk off. He was not a good person.
Right.
Okay.
Birdman.
And they hated his guts. They did not like him.
He was treacherous.
He was very treacherous, and so
He's a Birdman, though.
so they sent him to, when he got caught with the distilling alcohol, they said, you're going to Alcatraz. So Ricky
Enough
Ray,
of the birds?
when you go to Alcatraz, no more birds. Done.
No animals, period.
No animals, no nothing. He gets in serious solitary. He tries to take his life 3 different times, unsuccessful. He really got depressed from there. He ended up getting transferred to Springfield, Missouri, to a penitentiary here, and died at the age of 73 in 1963. Burt Lancaster was interviewed after that show, and he said he admits now that 90% of the movie was bullshit.
Right.
And
Right.
it was just to soften things up. And
As
that
most
little
movies are.
Hollywood world and
The true
and
story
paint the
of
picture.
is 90%.
Yeah.
If you ever get that TV series, The True Story of,
Yeah.
it's probably about 90% false too.
Bullshit. So the only thing is, we had an FBI profiler on the last show, world-renowned FBI profiler, and he was
Ron
talking
Tunkel.
about. He was talking about our Raphael Jackson character that did the confession. He was saying, I'm not comfortable calling him a psychopath because I need more information about his upbringing. So I did peel the onion about Robert Stroud's upbringing.
You want profiler?
No, I just want to give more
Yeah, right,
information.
but you're going profiler now.
I am going profiler.
Yeah.
So he grew up in an abused household, and he was violent from the get-go. He was just a bad, violent dude. So Burt Lancaster and all that fluffiness was not true. He's a bad dude.
Yep. The Birdman of Alcatraz.
Yep. So there you have it. JJ, how'd you think? What'd you
It was
think?
very good, and I was correct in the 1,500 inmates he killed him in front of.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
just in case. Just in case.
In case you're wondering, there's 15.
Right, I was correct. Just
But you
saying.
see how JJ's got that green shirt on? What shirt is that? Is that Notre Dame, JJ?
Of course it is.
Hey, was he a
Everybody knows.
pal kid? I think he was a pal kid.
I don't
'Cause
know.
I think he was.
He's my pal.
He was a pal kid.
I don't know.
Police athletic league?
Yeah. And Danny's just jumping right ahead. But
Great.
Sorry.
JJ's going to explain to us
Why I'm wearing this? Why I'm wearing the shirt?
Not why you're wearing the shirt,
Because
but why Jeremiah Love, friend of the show, family's a friend of the show. His mother and father are both retired sergeants from the police department.
Yep.
Jeremiah Love is a tremendous running back for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And JJ's got some facts that would lead us to believe that Jeremiah Love will win the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, shit.
yes, he took my whole thunder out of that whole thing. But yes, I am friends with both his parents. It's okay. But every 10 years, I was talking to Brian earlier, every 10 years, a running back wins the Heisman. Going back to 1935, this is an algorithm just showed up on my phone, which I thought was
Every
pretty.
10 years that end in 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
So-
serious?
So 35 all the way up to now. And I just went to the
Who
last.
you got? Who?
All right, well, listen. Well, I'm not going to. 1935 was Jay Burr Wanger.
Yeah, Big J.
Big J, he played for Chicago. Well, I don't even know if they have a school anymore.
Who
But
you
he
got?
goes 95. I'm not going to go all of them, but the ones that we
I'd
would
like
know.
to hear all their names.
I don't have them down. So it'd be Bo Jackson when he won it in '85.
All right.
Eddie
Bo.
George in '95. Reggie Bush in '05.
You got to give that shit back.
And in 2015.
Derrick Henry
Yes.
Oh,
and Jeremiah Love in
Beast.
2025.
2025.
Holy cow.
Is that weird?
go. Here
And
we
he's
go.
number 2 right now. Actually, my son sent me that yesterday. He's his
Plus
number 2 in the
350.
odds. Yeah, plus 350 to win the Heisman. And they got an Indiana quarterback that don't even. Do you know his name? I don't even know his name. Honestly,
Francisco Mendoza.
you're supposed to say I don't know his name.
No,
either.
it's Jeremiah Love's going to win the Heisman.
I don't know. Well, he's
There's
number 2.
Another contender from Ohio State. His last name is Sayin.
I'm just-
Sayin.
You're just saying.
Right. They should. No, they should. He's going to name his daughter Jess. Just saying.
Just saying.
And then I thought that if you had a boy, you'd call him what you, and then his middle initial would be B.
And I thought,
be saying?
if this
What'd you
was
be
a
saying?
gong show, we'd be gonging your ass.
No, but that's pretty wild though. From 1935, every 5 years, the running back wins the Heisman. That's crazy. So
crazy.
I hope they stay in form and he wins it in
I do too. For
this
St.
year.
Louis,
Yep.
for the SLMPD, have a Heisman.
Yep. Both parents are retired sergeants from the police
nothing.
department, Jason and Latanya.
That's very, 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 very good. JJ, hey, Ricky Ray.
Oh.
We're going to go to JJ's Zen.
After Danny talked for 20 minutes, they want to wrap this shit up. It was Tommy's fault, Danny. It wasn't yours.
Thank you.
Why is it my fault?
I don't know.
Why
Hey,
you
this is a
blaming-
peaceful
why
thing.
you gotta be blaming people?
no
Not
one-
during Zen.
Not during Zen. We don't go there.
How about a shut the fuck up before Zen?
Oh, now here we go.
Oh, hey, JJ, don't quit, JJ.
The past is not a place of reference, not a place.
You screwed it up.
Oh.
Couldn't pull it off.
The past is a place of reverence, not a place of fuck. Let's start this over. Cut out. The
I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm sitting there looking at it.
You can
It's
read it.
plain English.
don't-
It couldn't be bigger letters.
I don't have my.
It's plain English.
The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. And I'm so sorry because I screwed that up for Postal Day. Gave me that. It was awesome.
All right, so say it again.
The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence.
I like that.
Too many R's for me.
That was awesome. Yeah, too many R's.
Dave sent them a tongue twister.
It was good. David did. And you know what? He texted me and said, hey, I saw you were looking for, complaining about no one sending you Zen. So I said, so he sent me a good one. And actually, I'm going to read his next one. I answered that question that text to something, and he just sent a retext that was like, shit, that could be a Zen too. The guy's smart as a whip. But
He is very smart.
And I do have to say, Greg Colombo was a little mad because I didn't mention him. I mentioned last week that my brother hasn't sent me any, and so he got his got
Brother's
butt.
here tonight.
I know, but he got
He
butt.
didn't bring a Zen with him?
No, he got butthurt. Greg did that I didn't mention him or Postal Dave.
That'll be good.
Right.
That'll be good. Hey, if you don't want to bicker,
When you don't wanna bicker about the price on the sticker,
head on down to Schicker where you get $1,000 off if you're a first responder. And hell, if you're not, just tell them you're coming from the brighter side of blue.
They don't fact check either.
They don't fact check. Just tell them you got a badge somewhere, and you're going to get $1,000 off Schicker Ford of St. Louis. Fairway Automotive.
Where it's not only done the right way, it's done the fair way.
Damn straight.
You know that, right?
Yeah. So what do we got coming up next week, Tom?
Before we got coming up next week, I had to tell you about these two guys that live next to Brian.
Because Brian, about his next door neighbors.
I think Brian's friends with these guys. It's
Disavow.
20 and 21-year-old. So Gavin Wiesenberg, he's 21, and Christopher Thomas,
Wheezy,
and Big T.
Big T, and Wheezy.
Not familiar with either of these fellas.
So they decided they were going to do this plot and they were going to overtake a Haitian island.
Okay.
An island from Haiti, not that populated, but populated. So they came up with this idea of what they were going to do is they were going to go get a ship full of homeless people. Now, this isn't bullshit. This has been indicted. This is not just me just making up a story.
Right.
They were going to get a ship full. So obviously there's been a lot of conversations between these two gentlemen about how this is going to go. So they were going to get a ship full of homeless people. They were going to go to this island. It's like Ganove, of an island of Haiti. And they were going to storm the beaches with these
Storm the beaches.
with these homeless people, and they were going to kill all the men and enslave all the women and children. So this is their master plan. And on the side, what they got hit for originally, they're currently in jail for child pornography. So they were dabbling in that while they were coming up with their master plan to take over this Haitian island. What's his name here? Mr. Thomas. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mr. Weisenberg. He tried to get on the fire department, and because he was going to learn how to be a fireman. I guess that was to help his plan.
Yeah.
He got booted from the fire department because for whatever reason.
Because he's a moron.
Well, then he got in the Air Force, so he was going to further,
That seems scarier.
get his some training there in the Air Force. But what I don't think these guys realize is it's not that easy to wrangle up a ship full of homeless people that are going to listen to you and want to take over an island. This particular island, it's not like there's 20, 30 people on this thing. 87,000. 87,000 people.
This is an indicted story.
An indicted story. They were going to head over there in a ship. They had a plan. But they didn't get past the child pornography plan to pull off the island plan.
I think they came in last place in their fantasy league last year, and they had to
They
come up
said
with-
you got to come up with it.
You have to get indicted for the most lame ass shit ever recorded.
No,
This has to
if
be
you
a joke.
lose, you got to go conquer an island. you got to go conquer
You're gonna
an
bring a
island.
homeless. The captain of the ship is Sheriff Montgomery, and get your ass over there and take over.
Sheriff Montgomery, these two idiots are going to go take over a Haitian island.
I like the part about just taking the homeless out of here.
That's right. It is a plan for the homeless. Because I'm sure the homeless would love an island.
Heck yeah.
We're
To
going to an
themselves.
island.
Tropical?
We're going to
Shit.
a paradise.
It's just that, there are some homeless people that, you could really help them out. But there's some homeless people that are pretty
I don't like
out there.
the logistics are hard to. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. That's unbelievable. Wow.
Brian, do you know did you know? Have you ever seen those guys?
No, those are not my.
That's not
You've
your
never been to a TCU game?
Not those two. No, those aren't our best and brightest.
No, obviously not. Obviously,
Even St. Louis ain't had that.
You know, if even Campbell Security Group would have said no to them, they would not protect that island and all
No.
this bullshit.
I think if you gave Corby the information, I think he could have saved the island. That's how good he is.
He would have saved the island and
He
saw
would
these
have
guys
saved it.
coming.
Without a
mile.
doubt, he would have saved the island.
Yeah, I agree.
But instead, the feds did it. But if Corby would have got, like if somebody on the island would have heard that this might be taking place, you definitely would have called Corby.
We are done. What do we have coming up next week? Do you even know?
I don't even know. Well, no, we got a couple things. We got the Cookie Thornton thing cooking.
Oh, yeah, it's a very good one. Oh, wow.
It might not be next week. We got the Richard Beck bombing. He's the most prolific bomber in St. Louis history. We got him coming up. So we got some good shows coming up. I just don't know exactly what next week's going to be.
Hey, one thing: the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence.
Even being in a joke.
You tried to get it in. You tried to get it in on a good note, and you still fucked it up. All right.
Cut that out, please.
Enjoy the interview.
Time for a quick word from our sponsors. Remember, listeners, you can go buy a Ford from many places, but when you buy it from Schicker Ford of St. Louis, you get a car and a family. The service after the sale is second to none. They've been huge supporters of law enforcement for over 60 years. You get the same treatment if you visit Schicker Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge in Washington, Missouri. So,
When you don't want to bicker about the price on the sticker, head on down to Schicker, where you get the best deal quicker.
Now, where the heck do you bring that car when you first get it?
What I would do is you got to unwind afterwards, and whenever you want to unwind after a shift, buying a car, or just a good night out, you head to Columbo's Cafe and Tavern in Dogtown, St. Louis, where craft brews are on tap. Solid pub grub, a vibe that says real people, real stories, near the heart of St. Louis. Bring your squad or just bring your appetite. Located on Manchester in historic Dogtown, Columbo's is where community roots meet good times. Visit columbosstl.com or drop in tonight. Tell them the brighter side of blue sent you. Columbo's, for people who work hard and play harder.
as promised, listeners, we have a returning star guest, Katie Kull from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Last time you were here, you were talking about Anthony T.T. Jordan case where you and Tommy met. And we're our
She's my
reporter.
fellow crime reporter.
Yeah, well, you're a journalist now, Tommy. You're a journalist.
See, now that I've met her and I've made those relationships within the crime community, within the crime reporting community,
Yeah.
now I don't have to go to trials anymore. We just call her.
That was the real motive.
That was a great first move you made.
The
There.
only difference is she went to 4 years of Mizzou to get her journalism degree. Where did you go?
Scottsdale Community College.
And you didn't take a damn journalism class.
I didn't take a whole lot of classes. I didn't go to a whole lot of classes.
Before we
I should
get
say.
started, Katie, the most important thing is, can we get a media pass for like not Rams games, Cardinal games and hockey games?
I can't even get that
How come?
because we have
She's a
other
crime
people
reporter.
doing it.
She's not a sports reporter.
If I were actually covering it, I could, but we
Okay.
only have so many seats.
So we're out
unfortunately.
on
yeah,
that.
sorry guys.
So you only get involved when the athlete commits a crime?
Pretty much actually. I have written about a couple.
Well, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, and we have talked about it already in the show, but Katie was my first call on the spook NBA scandal investigation. And the NBA scandal has a St. Louis tie with the a gentleman we've talked about on the show before. It's Eric Ernst. And Ernest, I always say Ernst, but his nickname was Spook. And he was deeply involved in the...
And you called Katie to
No,
verify?
Katie called me, texted me, and says, "Do you know Spook?" And I was like, "What is she talking about?" Yeah, I know Spook.
And then you didn't know she was going
I didn't know
there.
where she was going with it. And I was just like, "Yeah, Eric Ernst." And she's like, "Yeah, he's in the middle of this NBA scandal." I hadn't even heard about it yet.
Are you serious?
So I
Good job, Katie.
you.
kicked
Thank
on-
you.
and then I
It is her
received,
job.
and then I received
That's my
like,
job. Yeah. Who do I know who might have been a DEA with the DEA at that time or the police department? Yeah.
that might know Spook. Who
Yeah,
do I
right.
know that might know Spook? Let me
Yeah.
hit Tommy. And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?"
That's pretty
And
good.
then I got a barrage of calls: Denver, New York, The Athletic, and I got quoted in the Athletic.
No, you did good.
Yeah.
You did good.
I didn't know they were taking that good at notes because she put at the end, and when I said I thought he was full of shit. She put that right in the article.
Yeah, she did. He wasn't.
Yeah, TFO Sawyer thought he was full of shit,
And he wasn't.
and he was
telling
not.
the truth.
No, he was telling the truth.
Oh, that's good. That was actually a cool line, though.
Well, you two did such a good job on the Anthony T.T. Jordan trial that Katie has got a new assignment this week. Has it only been 1 week?
Technically, yeah, it's been 5 days, but over the course of 2 weeks.
So we have listeners worldwide in Vietnam and Ukraine. But for those that don't know, in the city of St. Louis right now, our sheriff, Alfred Montgomery.
Alfred.
Did I just say that? Alfred Montgomery.
Big Al.
Is sleeping in a federal jail, but being transported daily to a state court for a state trial. And he's our sheriff of the city of St. Louis.
And
right?
I'm going to interrupt
Elected
real quick.
sheriff.
Is this a trial?
Yeah, it's a bench trial. So,
But is it a trial? They're trying to remove him from office.
Yeah, it's
They're
a lawsuit.
He's not a charge. He's not charged. He's not going to get put in jail if he's found.
correct. Yeah. So
This
there's
is to
criminal
remove- okay.
charges. There's the criminal case that's in federal court.
Got you.
And then there's the civil removal lawsuit and that was the trial that happened over the last few days.
Okay,
in the
got
city.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's a bench trial. So it was just Judge Omer, who's a retired city judge, who came back because the city judges recused themselves because they work with the sheriff's department. So
Good
he
call.
had retired before Omer had retired before Montgomery took office. So
Oh, I didn't know.
he
that
never
was-
worked with him.
So, as the crime reporter, have you been? I mean, and Sheriff Montgomery's been in the news since almost day one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been following this the whole time?
So-
Are you the one that's been reporting on this? I don't.
Yeah, about half of it. My colleague and my fiance, so colleague feels weird to say, but he was the one who kind of was reporting on Austin Hughley. He's the one who was reporting on kind of the controversies with the Board of Aldermen and all that stuff before this happened. And then once it got to court, then it became me,
Okay.
You're not going to say your fiance's name?
Austin Hughley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mean she's not going to say it twice because she just
I
said it
didn't hear
fluidly
that.
in a
She
sentence?
Well, I
speaks
think-
so fast, I did not hear that.
Sorry, I'll slow down. You're like the court reporter this week. She kept being like, slow down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What kind of job is that? I mean,
That's a tough job. That's
you
a
know
tough
who would
job.
be the worst human ever recorded at that job? Him.
As a
Why?
court reporter?
Court reporter.
Why?
Why?
Because he could never stay attention that long.
I couldn't either.
Yeah, I couldn't either. We'd all be
Come
horrible.
on.
I think we all
That's
suck.
what are they called? Stenographers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make some cash.
Yeah,
They
they
make
should.
good
And they
money.
should.
Right.
That's what they
Ain't no
put
doubt.
up with. All right, so go on with it. What do we got?
I don't know. Where are we going to start?
I don't know where to
Now, I got a question for her. Do you think he realizes how, in this case, it's just for his removal from office? Do you think he realizes how serious trouble he's actually in by his demeanor or anything he does in the court so far?
It's kind of hard to say. He didn't talk, and in the deposition in the civil case, he took the fifth because of the criminal case. They said he took the fifth over 200 times over the course of this deposition. So he didn't say anything. But he just walks into court every morning, and he's in. And I think what happened was he was in Illinois. He was in a jail in Illinois because the marshal's contract with local jails. So he was in a jail in Illinois, and then they brought him here. And I think he was probably staying at a jail closer to here during the trial, but I don't know. But they brought him in every morning. And he just sat there.
So let's just start at the beginning. So let's just go with day one. So what happens on day one? Day one is the jail commissioner testifies about the disagreement there. How does that go?
Yeah,
break
I'm not
that
going
down
to
a little
remember
bit.
this day by day, but
That's fine,
I can
right.
tell you the broad strokes. So,
Right.
so the first count in this removal suit, they say counts, but it's not criminal, but that's also a charge in the criminal case, which is that he handcuffed Tammy Ross, who is the deputy jail commissioner. And basically what happened was there was a sheriff's deputy who was accused of sexually assaulting a CJC inmate. And so the jail kind of does their preliminary investigation, turns it over to the police department, and they call the sheriff and say, hey, FYI, there's this allegation out there, and he sends his internal affairs people over there to try to gain access to the jail. And Commissioner Ross says, I can't give that to you right now. I need to check with legal because I don't know, since there's a police investigation, whether I can let you talk to her, the victim, and alleged victim. And so this is over the course of a few days. Finally, it reaches a boiling point on Valentine's Day, February 14th, where the sheriff says he's going to go up there and arrest her. And there were a couple people who testified that were in his department that said, don't do that. And he's like, I'm going to go do it. So he goes up there, and there's video of him standing there, and she kind of tries to walk away, and he walks in front of her, and then his deputies handcuff her. And there were a few people who testified that he's ordered them to handcuff her. But she also said, why don't you cuff me then, or something like that. And she testified to that as well. And so they do handcuff her, and they take her through the jail and over to the office, and then eventually they let her go. His defense to that is that she had consented to being handcuffed because she
A lot of
said,
people do that. Yeah.
because she said then cuff me then, and also that he had the authority to do this because she was blocking his access to the facility.
Which she's responsible for.
But he says I have to get in there to serve process. That was another thing, is they argued that he needed that she was blocking them from serving detainees properly. That was another thing.
What was he going to serve her with?
Well, not her,
Okay.
like detainees. There were separate deputies trying to get in. And so there were different explanations for this. Basically, their argument is that they had the authority to do that. So, and a post-certified officer was the one who actually did the handcuffing or assisted in the handcuffing. One of his deputies was post-certified.
So that's charge, or I keep calling them charges. I
That's
don't know
count-
what to
it is
call
a-
them.
I mean, count one.
Charge. And
Yeah.
then
They refer to it as counts even in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll go.
so then after that one, what do they go to the next one?
Okay, then I don't know if this is written in order, but whatever. This is just how I remember it. Then number 2 is that he had a deputy named Daryl Wilson, and Daryl Wilson resigns from the department in like mid-January. Said he was trying to change his hours. They didn't like each other, very obvious. And then Daryl Wilson's working secondary at not secondary, he's working as a security guard because he's no longer a sheriff's deputy. So he's working at this gas station on South Grand, and the sheriff shows up and says, you're impersonating a sheriff's deputy. Give me your weapon. And it's his personal weapon because he didn't have a department issued weapon anymore because he had resigned. And so he says, hand me your weapon. And there was another deputy there. And so he says, I'll give you the weapon, but I'm not giving him the weapon. And he testifies, Mr. Wilson testified that the sheriff said, hand this over, I'm going to cuff you or I'm going to arrest you. Anyway, he eventually gives it over.
I mean, it's crazy.
And he eventually gives it over, and they call the police. The sheriff calls SLMPD and says, hey, I have this guy who's impersonating a deputy. And their argument was that he was impersonating a deputy because he was wearing khaki kind of cargo pants and a black shirt, which is what some people wear when they do the external services, so like serving eviction, stuff like that.
Right.
And so... so that was what he said, and basically there was some body camera footage of the officers who arrived on scene because they had commanders and people show up, white shirts show up because he's a public official. He's a public official, and he goes, and you can see the guy. I forget what the lieutenant's name was. He's like, you can't take his gun. And he's like, I was disarming him, and that's what they say in the back and forth. Now, I always have to say Mr. Montgomery's defense is that he was investigating the security guard, and the security guard wasn't wearing his license properly. No. And he said he was working for Gateway something security services or something, and he wasn't actually. He was just being paid directly by the gas station. So they say that he had every right to investigate. So that's count number 2.
Are you old enough to remember Sheriff Jim Murphy?
I didn't live here. I didn't grow up here, but yes, I've heard about Sheriff Murphy.
So Sheriff Murphy was sheriff for, I don't know, Ricky, 40 years? 28 years he was sheriff, and you never heard a peep. Everything ran smoothly. It was professional. He wasn't at gas stations locking people up and I don't know.
It's a low profile
There's
position.
more charges.
It's a low-profile position.
And I've said this is that, being the sheriff is kind of like being the guard on the offensive guard on a football team. If you hear the name a lot, you're not doing things right.
Exactly
You're,
right.
You're holding a lot. You're tripping. You're doing things that are bringing
100%.
attention to
Good
yourself.
analogy.
But to continue, there's more charges that
Yeah,
he's-
there were 6.
They're trying to remove him
I'm
from
gonna
office.
try
So
to
there's
speed
2
through.
counts.
I'm going to
Right.
try to speed through
No,
the
no,
rest.
but
But
no,
those are the 2 that require the most explanation, I'd say. Then there was another one that he mishandled the finances of the office. And the office is like more than $800,000 over its budget.
How much?
$800,000
Over budget.
over budget, more than that. And basically, when he took office, he fired a bunch of people, so they got compensatory time or something, and it amounted to over $200,000. And so he's in a hole. This is the allegation. And then he, orders $26,000 in badges and uniforms. He orders himself a new Tahoe.
Golf carts?
Golf carts, yeah, robots, surveillance robots. I don't know if those were ever purchased, actually. but that was...
Wait. He wanted surveillance robots. For what?
I don't remember that. I don't know if he ever got them, but it was very, and it was like the golf cart thing was a whole thing with the Board of Aldermen because they're
Yeah.
like, why do you want these, And he's like, well, I want them, and then they're like, you already bought them? Like, it was very, very controversial at the time. And, his defense is that's not enough to remove him. Like, plenty of people go over budget. Plenty of
Right.
politicians go
That's-
over
that's
budget.
all true.
And so his defense is that, he's allowed to do that and manage his office. And he also disputes that it was his fault that there was that $200,000 in payouts in the beginning.
It's
Anyway.
the whatever defense. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
If you got anything to say,
I'm
Brittany,
okay with
whatever.
that. What's the next count?
Okay, the next count is that he had one of his deputies pick up his kids from school. And this woman is, she is a longtime family friend.
The deputy?
The deputy, sergeant. I think she was actually sergeant. But she was a longtime family friend, basically a grandmother to these 2 kids. And they said, and she would go pick the kids up, bring them to the courthouse, and then their mom would come get them. And she used a sheriff's department vehicle to pick them up. So that
Regularly, every day?
they said more times than they could count.
It made the
is what
news.
the-
They showed it in the nightly news.
Yeah, Chris Hayes did a really
Right.
good story on that,
Yeah.
and followed them and everything. And so, now they say that was no big deal, and that she said that she used her lunchtime to go pick up the kids.
In a
That she
sheriff's
wasn't on the
vehicle.
clock. The issue is that there were no timesheets and no vehicle logs to record what was going on. So it's kind of like they can't back it up, but also there's no way to refute it, but there's no way to prove it either, kind of thing. So that's that one. And then
A word from our sponsors. Looking for a place to unwind, celebrate, or just pull up a seat with a good company and a fine cigar? Head to Riverman Cigar Company, located at 8984 Watson Road. They're not just a cigar shop. They're a premium lounge where craftsmanship meets chill. From Padron to AJ Fernandez, the humidor is stocked. The sonic humidifier with reverse osmosis keeps every stick tasting top tier. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned aficionado, they've got events, education, and a cozy spot to kick back. Call 314-843-3355 or check them out online, rivermancigar.com, where quality matters and the vibe's right.
Now, Tom, where does Dan from Riverman Cigar go when he's selling all those cigars at a high price?
Making all the money.
Yeah, making all the money. Where does he go after that?
He
Dan?
should head on out to Avail Professional Services. It's based in St. Louis, but it has reach across Missouri and Illinois. They're experts in tax planning, payroll, bookkeeping, HR support, and they don't stop until you're under control. Whether you're a solo hustler or a growing firm, Avail brings a high-touch service with real-world results. Visit availproserve.com for your free consultation. Avail Professional Services, when every financial detail matters. Go see Dr. Dussold, otherwise known as Marty Bird. Huge supporter of law enforcement. Go see him.
The Birdman.
Yep.
And I'm remembering. Well, one of them is because he's in jail, so he physically can't do the job.
Well, that's a tough one to get around. I mean, he's literally sleeping in federal
He tried
jail.
to get his lawyer to run the sheriff's department while he was gone, though.
Even I couldn't have pulled that off.
Now, how about the rolling the dice thing? Is that
That
in-
was not part of it. That was
is that
not
part of the federal
That's
one?
No.
Are you going
So
to
you
sit in
just-
on the federal trial?
Yes. Yes.
All
And that
right.
one is that it's the handcuffing that I already explained, and that's actually a misdemeanor. And then there's 5 additional counts that he retaliated against witnesses to that case. And there's some phone calls in which he kind of calls people snakes and says he's going to demote them if they cooperate with the federal investigation, or because they cooperated. And there were other witnesses who testified and kind of backed that up, I guess. He says that they were terminated or demoted for other valid reasons. So
Now, the picking up of the kids thing. I know you said that was more times than they can imagine. Was it the same person every time?
yeah, it was this woman, the Sergeant Barbara Chavers, and she did it every time. And it was weird because they couldn't really pin down her exact hours.
Was she an employee of the sheriff's department prior to him getting the job?
No.
And she's like a grandma to the kids already. So he hired his babysitter.
Is nepotism, which, it is what it is in all walks of life, but nepotism has something to do with this too, right?
So nepotism was one of the original charges, that he had hired his half-brother. But that was later debunked and removed. And when I talked to experts at the beginning of this whole thing, or we did, they said that was probably the most surefire bet, because that's specific in state law that you can't do that. But
How did it get debunked, do you know?
there was a
Birth certificate.
birth certificate, yeah. It was a
So
very.
they just called
there was
each other
this-
half brothers?
It was, I guess. It was
I mean,
weird
it's
because,
pretty
like,
common,
the
yeah.
first
it's
the
common.
first hearing, they show up and they're like, "We have this birth certificate," and everyone's like, "What?" It was really interesting.
So they got that thrown
that was
out right away?
immediately, yeah,
Okay.
almost
Hey,
immediately.
Katie, why did he get taken off the street, though? Why was he put in jail? What did he do that they decided he needed to be locked up?
So originally, he was only indicted on the misdemeanor,
Right.
and so they weren't going to lock him up for that. And then what happened was he gets this superseding indictment, and the allegations are, and basically this phone call that he made that's really central to their case, he made it on a phone that he didn't disclose to pretrial services, and so and they called it a burner phone, which his attorneys
He was gonna
he
tell you.
wanted me to say that,
Right,
Jim.
he did.
And he disputes it. They dispute it. It was really funny. This never got finished. This situation never got finished in the trial. But Judge Mason brings up 3 black phones that look, flip phones, and he's like, "And what are these?" And the judge is like, "I don't know what you want me to do with this," because the burner phone thing was not part of this at all. And he's like, "These are department issued phones." So I guess they wanted to show us that there are department issued
Different
black
varieties.
Flip
They have
phones.
flip
yeah,
phones.
yeah. So
I held on to my flip phone for longer than anybody I know.
Tom Walsh still has a flip phone.
Oh, well, then there you go. I lose.
Man.
I kind of wish I could go back to a flip phone.
I know. I love the flip phone.
Now,
Mine
let's go
burnt
back
up
to
on
the-
the side of a pool.
to
I
the,
couldn't use it anymore.
To the rolling of the dice. Where's that thing? I mean, you've covered that.
I mean,
Where does that was probably the hardest I've laughed.
What was
when
the rolling of the dice? I don't even know.
So he brings in this Tony Kirshner, right?
Yeah, I believe
To
that's
talk
his
about the
name. Yeah,
dice thing.
Yeah. It's I didn't actually write about this, but from what I'm remembering is that he brought in an employee who he was going to fire, and he's like, "If I roll a 7 or something, you're not fired." And he did roll a 7 or
Did he still
whatever,
fire him, or did
and
he keep
he
his word?
did.
Yes, he still fired
Still
him.
fired
but
him.
then later in the excuses,
He's got no honor.
He said that he knew that the dice were fixed, that they'd roll a 7.
Oh, my God.
This is like Spook and Bebe. They used to fix
He's
it.
more like
had
Don
dice
Corleone,
delivered.
dude. That guy's.
I don't want to put you on the spot right here, but if he was running for election for sheriff tomorrow, would you vote for him?
I would
No.
not say anything
Yeah,
about
we're
that.
not doing that. See, I told her we would
I'm
not put her
saying
on the
no.
spot.
I would.
I'm saying hell no.
It's interesting. He's fun.
I don't. Here, all the charges, if done on their own, just one of them, maybe even 2. You lump any of them together. All right, whatever. But then they just kept happening. It was time. And I mean,
You said 15 hours into his sheriff.
yeah, this is, I went in today and I was like,
I
gotta do
remember
some
what
research.
the other count was, and you're going to bring it up. So that will dovetail
but
into
here,
what
I
the
go
sixth
with-
count is.
I said, tell me a little bit about Alfred Montgomery and all the trials and tribulations he's been going through. But speaking of trials and tribulations, can you go through a tribulation without a trial?
Yeah, I think it's.
But have you ever heard anybody? Hey, man, I'm going
Trials
through.
and tribulations.
I'm going through this tribulation. I'm going through this friggin' tribulation that's killing me.
I think we should do that. I think we should make
I
that
think
a thing.
I think to have a tribulation, you have to have a trial. It's got to be a trial and a tribulation. It can't just be.
I
hey,
got what the hell does tribulation mean?
It's got to be bad times. I'm just thinking.
Tribulation. I got
Hey, you're the journalism expert. What's it mean?
I think you know what? I actually have
somebody
never
Google
used it on its
tribulations,
own.
please?
Really, I think it means something like a difficulty.
The entire
Yeah.
IQ of this
Difficult times.
podcast has just
It
been
ain't going right.
exposed.
Right. You definitely don't want to be in tribulations because
No.
it usually means you're in
All
a trial.
right, so 15 hours into his tenure.
So yeah, and this is the first thing. Allegation count 4. Within the first 15 hours of his term, Montgomery allegedly fails to transport a detainee for medical care, despite longstanding practice in a 1999 agreement, plus a 2004 city memo saying the sheriff handles hospital guarding and transport. That just comes from online.
Yeah, and that is the. Thank you for reminding me. Good job. That is the sixth count that I was forgetting. What is a tribulation?
Ricky Ray just sent me gave me this phone.
Ricky Ray.
Tribulation, the cause of great trouble or suffering.
Okay.
Thanks, Ricky
A
Ray.
state of great trouble or suffering.
He's
I'm
definitely
going to try to work that into a story.
Big Al's definitely going through some tribulation.
Yes,
he is.
yes. Thank you, Ricky Ray.
And
To me,
trials.
he seems kind of confident still, though. He's like,
I mean,
I got this.
when we walked out of trial today, we talked to his lawyers, which is retired Judge David Mason, and then Justin Gelfand is his criminal attorney, and Matt Gio is his other attorney. And they said that they felt really good about it. And actually, the interesting thing about it is that in federal criminal cases, you don't get to do depositions with witnesses ahead of time. So his lawyer mentioned that, actually, this was really good because we got to hear from some of the witnesses who are going to be speaking
Absolutely.
in the criminal
The
case.
federal prosecutor's in the courtroom the entire
Christine
time.
Krug was there the whole time. Yeah. So it should be interesting. It did preview a little bit of it.
No, it is interesting.
Let's get back to we got off into the
Oh, yeah,
tribulations,
sorry,
but
the
let's get
tribulations.
back into count 4, which is the transporting of the
Yes,
prisoners.
that was the transporting of the jail inmates, and he. So I think I'm remembering this right, but they said that he said that he couldn't do it because he didn't have the staff.
Right.
He couldn't bring the inmates from the CJC to the hospital, the City Justice Center, to the hospital, as required or as prior sheriffs had done for
Right.
many, many years.
Right. Forever.
And they said that since January, they have completed 88 transports, and that includes after the sheriff was removed temporarily because he's in jail, and they had denied 86. So completed 88, denied 86 transports.
So 50-50?
Yeah, about.
That's a 50-50 proposition? But any other, now when's the federal trial slated to start?
It's not slated to start yet. They're still doing pretrial motions, so.
So who's got him, who removed the ankle bracelet option and put him in
Oh,
put
okay,
him in
yeah.
jail?
So I didn't finish that. So he civil trial, misdemeanor civil rights violation. Then he gets indicted on the 5 other witness tampering charges, and the judge is like, I don't know. I mean, these allegations are that you use this burner phone to call and be threatening to people, and they're your own employees. I mean, can you explain to me how I could possibly trust you to not do this again? And his lawyers argued, you know what? We've got him under control. We've got a employment committee that is making employment decisions, so he can't fire anybody anymore on his own. We're going to make recommendations to, and let him be on house arrest. And the judge was like, I don't think so. So he put him in jail, and it was mid-October. And then a couple days later, the judge in the civil case temporarily removed him. And his Sheriff Montgomery's lawyers were like, listen, he can still do his job from jail.
That's
and
cool.
They were like, he can call 12 hours a day. We're always calling him. It's like he's on vacation, basically, is what they said. That is a quote, yeah. So,
He can do his job.
yeah.
But, you know, and as a judge, and you're sitting there going, hey, man, we got this guy under control. And then whoever we is, the we got him in the problem. The people that are advising this guy, Alfred Montgomery seems to me to be a young, very intelligent person.
Okay.
To get involved in politics, you have, and to win. To get involved and win in politics, you have to have some kind of
Guidance?
behind you, some kind of mass people behind you
Right.
that know the system, whether it's the city of St. Louis, the state of Missouri, or the federal election, whatever you're running for, whether it's Senate, whatever agency or whatever little community you're running for. To win, you usually need to know people. Whoever he knows, whoever's advising him, is giving him horrible, horrible advice.
He won the election?
That's great. Well, where's he at now?
Yeah.
Where's he at now? Like I said, the sheriff should be like the left guard on
He's in a
on your
federal jail.
football
Our
team.
sheriff's in a federal jail working 12 hours.
You
from a
should
cell.
never hear. I should say their jobs and description of their job is just to take care of the prisoners. It's not to be law enforcement. We're different in the state of Missouri. And can you kind of elaborate on did they get into that in court?
That's a
What?
good question.
The difference between being a sheriff in the city of St. Louis.
Oh,
because
versus
most
everywhere
people-
else.
Right.
Right, because a sheriff in most places is actually like a law
enforcement.
enforcement. It's like traditional law enforcement. So, and they usually run the jail of the county. In the city, it's really, they have like 3 duties, basically. They do prisoner transport. They take people to and from court, like through the hallway. There's like a hallway connecting the jail to the court. And then they do courthouse security, and they serve papers and do like land tax sales. So they do like evictions and
That's it.
service. And that's all.
They have
yeah.
no arrest powers.
Right. Most of them are not post certified, though the previous sheriff was getting his many of his deputies enrolled in post classes. So some
Big
of them
V?
are, but yeah. Vernon.
Oh,
Vernon
Betts.
Betts, one of my buddies right there.
Jim Murphy. I mean, this guy, like I said, he comes in January the 1st, and within 15 hours, he's already got
Trouble.
something going.
Yeah.
And it was, and like he appears to be a decent guy.
Is he smoking weed too?
I think.
Oh, that was part of the
Gotta
thing
be.
too, is that he in the first
doesn't make him a bad
in
guy.
the first hearing, I don't make judgments about whether people are bad or good, but
Don't use that one, or you're sitting. If you're using that as a judgment, you're sitting next to a bad guy.
I'm not saying it. A federal judge is saying it. Okay. But and that wasn't actually the disqualifying thing. That this was an issue in the first. He said, "You're not taking. You were having mental health treatment, and you weren't taking your medication." And you've been using marijuana. This is why they took away his gun. Because after he was indicted on the misdemeanor charge, they took away his gun. And they were saying basically that you had mental health treatment, you stopped, taking that medication or seeking that treatment, you're smoking marijuana or using marijuana regularly, you're around all these people that are involved in the case, so you shouldn't have a gun. So that was part of it, yeah.
It's crazy. Everything is. And this is. Like I said, January 1st, what are we in November now? This is 11 months. Seems like it's been years. Right.
So the trial wrapped up today.
Wrapped up
And
today.
when can we expect a verdict?
And just so everybody knows what today is, we're taping this on Tuesday, Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so that's where we're at right now, just so everybody knows.
Good call.
Yeah. I expect it in a matter of weeks. The judge didn't give a firm deadline, but he said he hopes to have it done sooner rather than later.
Which means, what does that say? That means
That just
nothing.
means I'll get back to you when I want to.
After the
Sooner
holidays.
rather
Rather than later is
When
one
I
of my
want.
least
Have a good
favorite things
holiday.
on earth.
Yeah.
So, or I'll get back to you soon. What's soon mean?
Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing.
Soon means within a year, maybe?
No.
So, well, we thank you for your work. You're gonna be there for the verdict.
It'll probably just be a written order. So, yeah, it'll probably
They won't call people. I was going to ask that. That was a good thing. So it's just going to come out on like a teletype?
Yeah.
They're just going to... Just gonna roll it out and
You
say,
showed your age there.
I don't even know what a teletype is. I'm just,
you showed your age.
Paul Revere is gonna roll up
The ruling is here. The ruling is here. Yeah, right.
the rule.
Kind of like the paperboy here.
Oh yeah.
That's an inside joke.
Obviously, we're gonna have to have you back, and I know the next segment of our show is going to be a little bit on about gambling.
Oh yeah.
So if you were a betting woman, do you think what are his
Don't.
chances? What are his chances
She ain't
of
gonna
winning
answer
sheriff?
you, dude.
No.
I'll answer it for you.
He
I'm not
asked.
gonna answer that right now.
50-50.
What are his chances of winning sheriff of the year?
50-50.
Ooh.
Sheriff of
gonna
the year, you
say-
might say that one, and you might be able to
Hey,
get.
I you know what? I can be pretty clear. Probably less than 50%.
On Sheriff of the Year.
Boy, you put yourself
Sheriff
out
of
there,
the Year.
Katie. Thank you for
that was big. Yeah.
Right, Grady Judd is not. Remember Sheriff Clark? He was badass too.
Yeah, he was.
Sheriff Clark.
He was
from
a real
Milwaukee.
Those guys are
He was
law
a policeman.
enforcement
Yeah,
sheriffs.
yeah.
Right.
Those are different.
There's totally different sheriffs.
Right.
So
He's the left. He's the left guard.
yeah.
He's the left.
Oh.
Big Al's the left guard. of
Katie,
our
we
starting
really
football.
appreciate you coming
Absolutely.
in. Great information about our sheriff, and
Nope, we'll keep on top of it, and yeah, it's an interesting subject here locally. We appreciate you coming on, and as my fellow crime reporter, we will bring. You need to keep me up to date on these good trials
Yeah, there's a good one.
because
Next
you
week.
need to come back. Yeah.
There's a good one next week. Murder for hire.
Yes.
That'll be big.
we're in.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Johnson.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Katie,
All right.
thanks.
You'll
All
be
right,
busy.
thanks,
You
guys.
got to go to that one.
You know what?
You got to go sit.
You know what? Communities that support law enforcement are safer places to live. Just so you know,
True
Katie.
that.
Peace.
Peace.
Good job, Katie.
What's up?
That was great. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Denise, did you ever
I'm off tomorrow.
Bud Light?
Yeah, that's fine. And a cup and everything. Look at that. This is high class. I was getting them the bottle.
You didn't get my text? No. I don't know. I just got a picture. So I looked at the phone. You get the. So this is Fred. Scott. And he is the sheriff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Major.
I knew my defense was good.
I didn't see you in the court. I got I don't know why I just don't know my key. What's our gal's name? What's her name? What's her girl's name? Sydney. You guys are all in the back, you know, joint family side, this, come around the side there. They just look over, like, I guess we got to 5 minutes. He drove from South County, yes, he's coming in. Yeah, the Tribulations is after. Gas station out of South County, so I just walked there, I had to give Ashley Tiny Sawyer, Ashley Tiny.
She'll call you Mr. Joyner.
He's younger than me. He's been there.
Easy flag, he's gonna do
There might be some difficulty getting to interview Raphael Jackson. I think about one of the questions I'd be interested in his years that they're going to be, did he ever get shot? Because when you mentioned how, you know, shoot him, Leo, shoot him, don't shoot him, Leo, don't shoot him. I think, okay, if somebody had to drop on you, would you try and shoot it out of him? Or
Well, he did say that quick draw should have been worse than movie.
right, right.
No, it's kind of stalled as far as I remember.
Today or episode 6.
Oh, right, yeah, episode 6.
Whether it's going to be further than that.
No.
So what do you get for a report?
I thought it was interesting when there was an exchange between Mason and over the question of one of the status. I thought, okay, now Mason, you're not a judge now.
Right.
You used to be, but you're not.
Yeah.
When I was in there, the guy right behind me
Just
keep
got
doing
shooting.
Man, over the whole time, I'm right on the rock, 7-Eleven. Yeah, he won't be able to He's being a sheriff himself. Well, he was, now they just replaced, they put it in the kitchen. But for a minute there, he was doing the work. He was doing the job from the south. Yeah, that's right. On a burner phone. How about the one he rolled the dice? We don't know what he did. Oh, so he called the guy and he was mad at the deputies. He said, roll this dice.
Yeah, right.
Seven comes up, you get to keep your job. If it doesn't, you're fired. Roll the dice at 7. Still fired. I said, I can honor